let's check out this video about online gaming ranking systems.
This is a video about how forced 50% matchmaking principle is keeping you down. Anytime you go on any kind of win streak, the system will contrive to make sure that you lose afterwards. Whether it does so via putting griefers on your team or by pairing you with noobs, the forced 50% win rate mechanisms are preventing you from climbing the ladder. You know when you used to frag everyone with a 70% win rate? But because of the forced 50% principle kicking in, no one is actually able to climb out of their MMR hell.
Now, what is MMR hell? MMR is matchmaking rating. So when you play a game, let's say League of Legends, there is your ranking system, like what rank you are. And so as you go up, you should be matched with people of an equal skill level. But that's not what happens, because there's this hidden system called MMR, where it's a similar thing. But what MMR is that basically, in a nutshell, it says how much are you winning lately. If you're winning too little, say you're winning 20% of the time, it's going to give you really good teammates and put really crappy teammates on the enemy team, so you win more, because you should be winning 50% of the time. It kind of just wants everyone to be winning 50% of the time and staying at the same rank. And it wants it so badly that it determines who ends up on your team and who ends up on the enemy team. It's just basically all of the matchmaking system in League of Legends and so many other games is just that. That's all they're trying to do. They're not trying to make it a fair, competitive, good-spirited competition. No, they're just trying to make it so everyone's winning, losing as much, like ping-ponging as much as possible, so they don't feel bad that they lose a lot and are low ranked and suck. Right? It's trying to make it feel... I think they don't want people to feel bad for their rank lowering, but it also results in your rank not growing, not increasing either. It's completely terrible. So if you're winning 20% of the time, it's going to give you good teammates, put really terrible people on the enemy team. If you're winning 80% of the time, it's going to give you really terrible teammates and put good players on the enemy team. It's stupid. It's unbelievably stupid. It's painful. That's why they call it MMR hell, is because it makes it so you can't escape your rank. You can't improve. Like, even as you get better at the game, it ultimately just says, nope, doesn't matter. You've improved at the game, but we're going to screw you over anyway, because we just want every person on the game to, no matter what rank they're at, just win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. Now, it has like a rating system itself, so it's kind of like slower than that. So what it results with is you'll win 12 games. It's very often 12. It's very weird. It's like 10, 11, or 12. So you'll win 12 in a row, then you'll lose 12. Then you'll win 12, then you'll lose 12. Then you'll win 12, then you'll lose 12. Then you'll win 12, then you'll lose 12. Forever, right? Because it increases, it slowly increases and decreases your matchmaking rating. So it's always just evening out anyway. So it's unbelievably frustrating, because you're just always it's always just going to even out. It's just going to give you the worse and worse and worse teammates if you're on a winning streak. Like, you're going to get to a point on your winning streak where it decides you're not going to win anymore, and it's going to put you in what's called loser's queue, where you basically can't win your games because your teammates are just complete disaster, nightmare players. They aren't even trying to win. They don't know how to win. They don't understand the basics of the game. It's actually impressive. Like, I almost wonder if they intentionally scatter these spurgs all over the place, right? And because those spurgs are also trapped in this MMR hell, they can never increase or decrease either. They exist in like every rank of the game, right? Like, you get these morons in every possible rank of the game, where it allows the possibility of these players who don't know how to play the game, who are total garbage, to be at like very high ranks. Because you see this happen to people. You see it happen to like Tyler 1, where he's at like, he's in Challenger, the highest rank in the game, and he's getting total morons. Like, just people who aren't even trying to win, people and maybe some of these people, like, some people buy their accounts, right? Like, that's always been a thing in games online. But say somebody buys this like super high level account, they're like trapped in high level, right? So they're there causing this exact thing to be possible, but even at very high ranks, it's demented. This MMR system should not exist at all, because that's ridiculous. Now, I boosted people in Halo 3, right? I played at the very highest ranks of Halo 2 and Halo 3. So I know what I'm talking about. Like, the amount that I desire to have that kind of competitive online environment exist again is enormous. I would love that so much. I would love to be able to play a game competitively online, particularly a team-based game, right? But it doesn't exist in League of Legends, and it exists almost nowhere. Like, I cannot find a game that doesn't have this like MMR bullshit, or just like a non-functioning ranking system for other reasons. It's crazy, because it's existed in the past. It was so beautiful in Halo 2 and Halo 3. Now, Halo 2 was bizarrely harsh. Like, it didn't have this like shadow MMR system, but it's just had like rank 1 to rank 50. But you're like not getting to rank 50. You could be like say you're rank 35. You win 10 games, you ain't getting to 36. You lose one, you're going to 34. Now you're at 34. Say you win 10 in a row, you're not getting to 30, back to 35. You win 10, you lose one. Guess what? You're going to 33. It was crazy punishing in that way, but ultimately what that results in is it just functioning much like the Halo 3 ranking system, but just the numbers are different. It creates a different metric, but it's ultimately at least still the same thing. If not, it kind of functions potentially even better, as 35 and above ranks in Halo 2 was just the monsters, right? Just is basically like Challenger rank, where you had to be an absolute monster at the game. Like, you literally had to be able to carry your team. But the thing, for like 15 games in a row to climb your rank. It wasn't always 15. Like, it could be as little as 8 games in a row. But you had to be really good. You had to be able to carry your weight. That's the thing is because there wasn't this like weird matchmaking thing where you're having this weird spattering of skill levels. No, it was like everyone at your rank earned their way there and should be there. And even if they didn't, in like Halo 2 or Halo 3, they're plummeting. Their rank would plummet. There's people that like I boosted, or somebody I knew boosted to literally 50, the highest rank in Halo 3, and they would be down to like rank 10. Like, they would, because they would lose, because they were garbage at the game. That's why they're buying an account or buying a boost, is they're dog shit. So guess what? The game doesn't care about like stroking your ego. Your rank will plummet all the way to the lowest depths. But I feel like this MMR stuff, it just wants to pat you on the back and give you a participation trophy. So you probably do get a lot of these purchased accounts that just, they're stuck in the high ranks, and they get carried half the time, right? Because that's basically how it exists. First of all, League of Legends has too many players. 5v5 is too big. It used to have a 3v3, which I don't remember if that even had ranked. 3v3 though, think about how much bigger impact you have in a 3v3 game of League of Legends compared to a 5v5. Like, you are a core member in a 3v3. You have a much stronger result on the outcome. Now granted, Twisted Tree Line could have been better. They could have made a better map, and there wasn't as many champions at that time. I feel like basically every game of Twisted Tree Line 3v3 I ever played had a Nasus in it, and most like over half of them also had a Jarvan in them. Like, there just wasn't enough champs. The gameplay wasn't dynamic enough yet at that point for it to really work. But I think they certainly should do 4v4. Drop the matchmaking, the MMR system. Don't have any kind of weird shadow system. Just have it be, all right, you win, you go up, you lose, you go down. It doesn't need to be more complicated than that. When you make it more complicated than that, then you get you just get terrible gameplay. And you get a terrible ranking system that no one cares about. No one I know who plays League of Legends gives a flying F about their rank. And they haven't, ever. Like, maybe season, 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6, they cared about their rank. But then they dealt with this MMR hell, this ELO hell nonsense. They realized, hey, this game there's something going on here that makes it so I can't climb, where this isn't fun. And it destroys not only the ranking system itself, but that has a compounding effect on the entire game. Look at Halo, right? Look at now maybe you're not old enough to remember, but think about Halo 3. You could hop on Halo 3, you'd have all kinds of friends, you could talk to, you could hop on a custom game, you could play casual, you could play ranked, all of which you're going to have a ton of fun, right? They're very vibrant, awesome community online that just doesn't exist in League of Legends. Even though technically I know more people in my real life that have a League of Legends account, I could potentially play with more people, in theory, play League of Legends than I ever could with Halo 3, where they'd be willing to hop on ranked or whatever. But it creates a environment where just the environments in these two games could not be further apart. No one cares. Even people who play a lot of ARAM or whatever it is in League of Legends, I feel like they ultimately don't care about the overall game. It's not like they're not really hopping in between game modes and really giving a crap. No one cares. If anything, you're almost looked down upon in society if you're challenger in League of Legends. The time commitment and overcoming things like the MMR system, you have to dedicate your life. You have to literally no-life the game like a lunatic to get to challenger. No one wants to do it. Literally, you're looked down upon. It's a negative thing. It's definitely it's being at the highest rank in League of Legends will certainly have a large negative impact on your life. Think about how insane that is. Whereas other games like Halo 2 or Halo 3, you could be at the highest rank and it not impact your life at all because you can walk away. Literally, you could, in theory, you could have played Halo 3 when it came out, played ranked, and not played for 3 years, hopped back on, and take, literally your rank wouldn't have changed. You'd be at the same rank, and you could just hop right into it and have a great experience. You can't do that with League or any of these other games, and it's just terrible. And it rots the game from its core, right? The reason why people were constantly running these awesome custom games in Halo 3 is because I think it stems from having a really strong experience online, right? A really cool base game to begin with. The game, first of all, is better than League of Legends in terms of just what the game is and its features. But having a good ranking system that people care about will make people also care about just playing the game casually. And that's why you had such phenomenal custom games. And then Halo Reach comes out. Ranking system was a nightmare. No one played it. It didn't make any sense. It was like just based off of your KD ratio. Like assists didn't even matter. You had to play like 4+ games a day to get a rating, and then eventually like a weekly rating, and then monthly. Like just no one participated. No one cared. It was dumb as hell. And then they just never brought back ranked to the franchise. Lunatics, absolute lunatics. You had one of the coolest, most competitive games. Like Halo 3 was like the biggest esport in the Western world for a while. Right? Like it was huge when Halo Reach came out, but it eventually died. By the end of Halo Reach, no one cared about like Halo tournaments. Not really, right? Like it was dead. It still got like decent viewership, but ultimately no one could play the base game. You couldn't hop on Halo Reach and play ranked and climb and give a crap. There was no connection to it because no one was playing Halo Reach in that way. Like Halo Reach sucked. It sucked horribly. It wasn't competitive. It just didn't create that competitive environment, right? That a ranking system would. If it had the same ranking system as Halo 3, it would have created a great competitive experience, like environment, even though the game fundamentally sucked, even though they made the gameplay a lot slower by making the maps larger, adding bloom, and adding sprint. All of those things hugely slowed down the gameplay in Halo Reach. So I think it still would have like eventually flopped. It never would have been as good as Halo 2 or Halo 3. But then like Halo 4, they kind of like made the maps a little smaller, and I think Halo 4, all they had to do, and since it went from Bungie to 343, all they had to do was remove sprint, remove the like stupid power-ups, the like armor abilities, whatever they're called. Don't remove sprint, have some ranked playlists that don't have sprint. Boom. It would have been like Halo 3 again. Seriously, it would have. Like the weapons were much better than they were in Halo Reach. The bloom, they got rid of the stupid bloom. The game, the weapons were very balanced, right? Like people talk so much crap about Halo 4, but I'm telling you, it would have revitalized the entire franchise. All they had to do was do the same ranked playlists that they had in Halo 3 and remove sprint in those. Boom! I guarantee you it would have created a competitive online experience. It would have created this great multiplayer online experience. The community would have came back. It would have reformed and potentially been stronger than ever. But they didn't do that. They just didn't do ranked at all. And yeah, the franchise is just dead. Like it's dead. Like people still buy Halo. Like it's still millions of people buy it, but why? Like it's trash. Why are they doing that? The game used to be like a top esport with this incredible online community, and I think that fundamentally stems from having a really good ranking system that's just fair and balanced. It's just based off whether you win, whether you lose. You win, your rank goes up. You lose, your rank goes down. If you keep losing, your rank goes down to the bottom. If you keep winning, your rank goes up to the top. And it's just going to match you with people who are at your level. Why are they overcomplicating this in other games? Why does League of Legends, why do you have this MMR system? Why do I play the game? I win 12 games in a row, then I lose 12, win 12, lose 12, win 12, lose 12, win 12, lose 12, permanently. And it's like always based off of my teammates. And like when it decides that I need to lose, it's giving me teammates who don't understand the objective of like taking down the enemy nexus or like anything. They don't understand any of the objectives. They don't understand, like, it's like they have no concept of what the game even is at all. They're not remotely trying to win. It's lunacy. It is absolute lunacy. Now, like, some people would say, oh, well, it's the toxic player base. It comes down to the players. The players should be trying to win. They should be doing this or that. But it's like, yeah, you're right. There shouldn't be this, like, the game shouldn't have like 70% of its players being weirdo spurgs who aren't trying to win. But also, why are there systems in place that not only allow that to exist, but they reward it? They reward it by not deterring it, by not punishing it. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. And like I said, I hunger deeply for a competitive online game, and it's just I can't find one. I cannot find one, right? Like, there are games that are competitive, but they're not competitive in the way that I want, right? Like, I want there to be more to these games. I don't know, and it's just not out there. It's so weird. I want a game that's competitive and rewarding, that if I'm going to compete at and do really well at and bother to get good at, then at least I have like bragging rights, right? That also just doesn't exist in League of Legends, because literally everyone I know probably like 100 people. I've probably met like 100 plus people who've played League of Legends ranked. Not one of them cares about their rank. That's kind of crazy to me. That's a huge problem. And they could fix it. Make it 4v4, make a new map, 4v4. This is what solo queue is now. You're going to have a bigger impact on your games. We're going to get rid of MMR. It's just you win or you lose. That's it. Nothing else matters. Boom. It would make the game so much more competitive and so much more fun to play.